Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream, the last stream that we're having before the holidays, because guess who fucking widely miscounted how many things she'd have to do for the holiday. Oh my god. Oh no, everything's still blue. Oh no. Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. Hold on, chat. You're gonna live me. Okay, so here's what I do. Is before every new like charity stream that we do, Clay Tony says look purple to me. Every time we do a new charity stream, I like go through and I tint all of my overlay stuff a certain color depending on what the brand colors of the stream are, or of the charity are. So I just apply a filter. So I can actually make it, hold on. Do we have holiday colors? No, that's a saturation. Hold on, hue shift. I mean, green is already kind of holiday-y, so maybe we'll keep it. Yeah, let's just go back to normal. Let's just take off the filter. We'll slap it back down there. I need to do the same for my camera. Hold on, stare at this for a sec. Stare at the headlines. Stare at the news, because I also need to change the frame there. Get rid of that. Perfect, so that's green. How are you guys doing, by the way? I feel like we haven't talked in forever, which is wild because I definitely did do both streams last week, and which is rare for the holiday season and the travel season, but unfortunately I will have to do slightly less streaming this week, only because I'm busy. It turns out I had like 3 holiday parties to go to, give or take 1 or 2 more that all take place within the course of this week, and so I'm here today, but tomorrow I'm gonna be gone for a company thing, and then the day after, of course, is Christmas Eve, where my friend is hosting a party at her parents' house. There's apparently a lot of drinking involved, and that's all they went through like 20 bottles of wine or something like that last year, apparently. I don't know. And then, oh my god, what was it? There was something else that's actually happening on Christmas Day. I guess actually Christmas, you know, family stuff. Nasta says, so today's the last stream before Christmas. Merry Christmas. It is! Also, I wanna know what your favorite, so I've seen a couple opinions thrown around about your favorite holiday movies. I have Binary Dragon says Elf is good, but Love Actually is just preem. Paris, I don't know. I love Love Actually as a okay, primarily because the one scene with, hold on, Love Actually with the British dude who was in oh fuck, what was it? The British dude who was this scene, you know, the one where he's this was iconic. This set the fucking, who said Hogfather? This elevated, this like fucking raised the bar for women all over the goddamn world after this. And also look at his little smile. Look at his little pre-Walking Dead smile. Rick from The Walking Dead, that's his name. What's his actual name? It's like Andrew something? Hold on, what's the cast of this movie? Liam Neeson? Bill Nighy, Alan Rickman, Thomas Brody Sangster, who never ages, by the way, Hugh Grant, Emma Thompson, Colin Firth. Dude, Colin Firth, I hope he's a good guy. He seems like he'd be a good guy. I don't know this guy's name. Andrew Lincoln, that's it. What does he look like now? Oh, he looks haggard. Yeah, poor man, poor hairline. That being said, still could absolutely star in a Love Actually remake. Here's the thing, Love Actually, if you actually look into it, not that great of a movie. When you think about the ways, what is it? It's like the women have no agency or something like that, or there was something along those lines that was considered like the major criticism for the movie, but I like it. I think it holds up. Tamarathon says my favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. I do think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. You can't have that many Christmas themes and that much like Christmas cheer happening in the background of, you know, it starts during a Christmas, the Christmas, oh yeah, and Ellie says the multiple affairs in that movie. Yeah, and the way that she just, like, the girl who was with, what's his fuck from Die Hard, who wasn't the bad guy in Die Hard, Hans, he played Hans, and he's dead now. Alan Rickman. So Alan Rickman, like, full-on cheats on his wife, or like intensity or something like that, and she just kind of has to sit there and be cool with it, and then they just kind of like glaze over it or something like that. Holy shit, Aureus 13. Oh my god. Hi, wait, was there a message there? Oh no, what's the message? Enjoy your holidays, you crazy lady. Ah, thank you. Thank you so much, Aureus. Holy shit. That's really sweet of you. That's actually going straight to a travel fund to go back home and see my folks over the weekend. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. Guys, 3 cheers for Aureus. Also, hi to Fair Game, who has subscribed with Prime and followed for the first time. Hello, hello. Oh yeah, DBC, you said Narnia also has Jesus in a fursuit. Yeah, it wasn't, I almost said Mazatlan. What's the fuck's the tiger's name? The cat's name? Aslan? Arson. Arrivederci, the lion. He's literally Aslan. Aslan? Or is it Aslan? But she's, oh, wait, Paris says she divorces Al's character in canon? Okay, that's good. I forget, man, that movie has so many, and I get that it's supposed to be like a bunch of tangled up shit that weaves together in the end, but there was like feminist criticisms of it. I don't remember the exact nature of it, but I remember it being like, yeah, they're kind of right. But that doesn't mean the movie's any less enjoyable, at least on my end. Arrivederci the lion, yeah. Arson, hold on. Aslan, says Kristoff. Also, Jopling has a very good point here. Jopling, who's here for the first time, says, doesn't the fact that the conversation about Die Hard is so synonymous with Christmas make it a Christmas movie? Like, name one movie that is discussed more at Christmas. That's a good fucking point. See, I feel like the people who don't think that Die Hard counts as a even vaguely Christmas movie are just being contrarian for the sake of being contrarian. They're the type of people who like vehemently hate pineapple on pizza for no reason other than the fact that they just hate like whatever's trendy, you know, and they just want to be opposed to whatever's happening. Hi, Mage Boy, over on YouTube. Also, Jayok says Die Hard wasn't discussed at all with Christmas until people started arguing over it on the internet, which sounds like a very internet thing to happen. Also, hi, Thictor. Hi, Hados. Lukich, I want to shout out, is here on a 115th stream in a row, saying I shall eat 115 candy canes in celebration. Hashtag DethroneDB. Don't do that. That I can't. Well, to be fair, you could like melt them down into hot chocolate and probably get a decent amount of the way through 115. I can't in good conscience tell you that that's a good idea. I'm not gonna tell you it wouldn't be fucking cool if you did though. Nimbus says Gremlins is one of my genuinely favorite Christmas movies. Is it marketed as a Christmas movie though? I've actually never seen Gremlins. That's a very good point. What the fuck is this? They made a sexy gremlin? Oh, I remember the cute gremlin. It's kind of like oh fuck me, what do you call it? Furby, but with somehow even worse eyes, you know? Isn't this also these are the things that like melt in water, right? Is that what I'm thinking of? Nimbus says, please ignore Gremlins too, Jesus fucking Christ. Also, Paris wants me to drink water. I could do that. I have what's left of yesterday's can of Strawberry Sunset sparkling water, which is basically empty. Proving I'm not a gremlin or the Wicked Witch of the West or whatever the canon is. Gremlins is sexy Furby. Diana 2025. That is not what I said. That is out of context. But yeah, Cable Starkey says Gremlins is a classic. I really haven't seen it. I just never had any intent to see it either. I just don't because is it a kid's movie? Also, Paris says Rule 34, they made a sexy everything. That's true. I also want to point out I did my nails and right before stream, which is now inhibiting me from opening the hydration that I need for stream. So hold on, we're replacing sparkling water number 1 from yesterday with sparkling water. I swear I did drink more water today, by the way. This isn't just like the only water I've had between yesterday and today. It's now going to be, what are we on? Orange cream is the flavor of the stream. Also, Crooked Rook says, good Yule, Diana. Hi! Oh my gosh, dude, Yule logs? Have you guys seen, hold on, Yule log. Don't they have Yule log cakes? Yeah, look at these fucking things. This is on my wish list of things that I want to eat at some point in my life. This is actually, I'm changing the dono goal. We already reached the first dono goal. The second one's gonna be Diana just wants to try a Yule log. Hold on. Buying a Yule log bucket list. And then how much are these things? They can't be more than $50, right? Also, where do you get one? I've just never seen one in a grocery store or anything before. I think we're 25 of the way to that because we overshot the last goal. There we go. Kroguro says, oh, dude. Also, Kamashita says, Diana, hello, thank you for inspiring my Christmas wish list. Oh my gosh, yeah. If you guys are, obviously it's a little too late now, but who said there's frosting mushrooms? No fucking way. Those are made of frosting? Those? I thought this was a real mushroom. This? Those are candy. There's no shot. Wait, Luke says, a real Yule log isn't something you eat. Disclaimer for chat, do not eat a real one. Well, if you're a fucking coward. No, I'm kidding, please don't. But, oh yeah, Yvette says, how do you pronounce the water brand? Bubbly? Boobly? Michael Bubbly? I don't know. It looks fucking delicious to me. I'm not even a chocolate person. I don't like chocolate, but something about the cream, dude. Oh my God, and they have red velvet. And like, it's just so woodsy and whimsical. Why don't we have more whimsy in our desserts anymore? This is what's wrong with America, is we don't have enough Yule log cake style desserts, you know? Also, Adam Corona says Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a sick Thanksgiving movie, to be honest. Oh my God, is that a Thanksgiving movie? Hold on. Planes, Trains, Automobiles. Come on, autocorrect, at least help me out here. Oh yeah. Trying to reach Chicago in time for Neil's Thanksgiving dinner with his family. I think that absolutely counts as a Thanksgiving movie. And thank you for actually bringing one up. I have never seen someone talk about a Thanksgiving movie except in the context of The Nightmare Before Christmas, kind of be like shooting the gap in between Halloween and Christmas, you know? Also, Lucas says every mushroom is edible at least once. Well, okay, don't quote us on that. And Viper says those Yule log cakes are just larger Little Debbie Swiss cakes. Is now a good time to say we never had Little Debbie stuff growing up? I was too poor for that. We had off-brand Nutter, what are they called? Nutty Buddies, but not the good kind. Nimbus, oh hey, Aureus, hello, says glad I could contribute for tips and treats. That's really sweet of you, genuinely. Like that's awesome. Thank you so much. And also, I realize it's your first time chatting. Hello. Hi, welcome to the community. Also, welcome into Happy Little Dumpling, who has followed for the first time. Welcome in. And then Paris says, ooh, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is gold. This looks like one of those movies that wouldn't hold up, though. Oh my God, wait, someone mapped out their actual route? Intended route, actual flight, via train, bus, rental car, milk truck, and then into, okay. Fascinating, okay. You know, I love it when people actually do shit like that, where they're like, this is how it really would have worked in the real world. That's my favorite type of thing. Also, Dumpling says hello and thanks for the welcome. Welcome in. And then also Grimwind says, I love your D&D videos. I make long overnight shifts. Oh wait, they make long overnight shifts go by a lot quicker. Also, my favorite Christmas movie is Scrooged, Die Hard 2, and Lord of the Rings. Is Lord of the Rings actually canonically like a wintertime movie? Because I know the Harry Potter series, rest in peace, had one like movie that had a Yule ball. And I feel like that one specifically would count potentially, but did Lord of the Rings have something like that? Or is it just something you like to watch? And Adam Corona says, no, it does. John Candy and Steve Martin are hilarious. Oh, 100%. Galaxy Fox also says, I made a fairy garden myself. Also, lava cake is amazing. Lava cake would be great. God, I'm fucking hungry. Dethan, welcome back. Thank you so much for the sub. Good to see you, our lovely mod. And then Happy Little Dumpling says, I think they leave Rivendell on Christmas Day. The fact that they use the Gregorian calendar pisses me off. And I will never, I know they don't actually, I know that they were just translating it for the movie, but the fact that fucking Gandalf wakes up Frodo and is like, Frodo, it's October 24th. That's ridiculous to me. It broke all of my immersion. I couldn't suspend my disbelief enough for a guy who had done that much world building, you know? Jayhawk also says, Lord of the Rings takes place over a couple of years. The first one does, alone? Damn. All right. Also, we got a hydrate from Bubble Bath. Here we are. And Aurea says, glad to be here. You're the first streamer I ever donated to. Holy shit, I'm honored. Oh my God. Well, thank you. I promise I will put it to good use. It's holiday stuff, so I appreciate you. Also, Dethan has made a poll asking, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? So far, the yes votes are really in the lead, so go ahead and drop your answers in. Let's see. Oh, wait, Lord of the Rings came out in Christmas time, 2001, 2003, and it's the best Christmas movie ever, according to Galaxy Fox. That tracks. That makes a little bit more sense. Dethan also says, Dinah, you can look at the path they traveled overlaid over a map of the US. Really? Wait, hold on. We'll get the Yule log out of here. Lord of the Rings, what do we say, like Fellowship travel map? America travel map. Images. Okay, so this is a Facebook post. I'm sorry in advance. It's also really fuzzy because it's a Facebook post. Okay, so oh yeah, a map of the US and Middle Earth superimposed over each other. And then this is their walking path. So, man, they had to be in the fucking Mordor version of fucking Florida. Rest in peace. Okay, so they functionally went like, walked from the middle of Florida, or I guess the very top corner of Florida, all the way up to, what is that, Montana? And then east over to Ohio. Potentially. Oh, it's the other way around. They walked from, okay, got it. Kansas to Florida, and then also from Kansas to Ohio. Noted, got it. Crooked Rook says one does not simply walk into Jacksonville. Also, Nimbus Comics is my top trait, is I think I could do that. That's very fair. Also, Dumpling says my partner and I marathon the Lord of the Rings movies every New Year's Eve so we can start the new year with the ring being destroyed. Oh my god! Wait, what are your guys' favorite? Because that's actually one of my favorite things that the internet does is when they're like, hey, if you watch this movie or if you start this music video at exactly this second, down to the decisecond, then at exactly midnight, like, I don't know, Beyonce will say, let's get it, girls, or something like that, you know? Or what is it? The Thanos snap was like the really big one back when Infinity War came out and all that. Miriak is also saying hi. Miriak, I get that you're heading off. Say hi to your family for me. Also, Dethan says, I like watching Alan Rickman fall off the tower. Oh, rest in peace, Alan Rickman. Gone way too fucking soon. That dude had he's such a cool career. Oh my god. Also, DVC said it's time for the States quiz again. Oh no. Oh, goodness. So, oh yeah, Mage says, of course, Mordor would be Florida. And Silly Syrup says Kansas, dude. I'm just not good at anything, but mostly like states and things like that. Anyway, what are your guys? Because I remember Dethan says I like watching Alan Rickman fall off the tower. I wonder if there's if there's like a list of them somewhere. Let me see. I also realized I never went live on TikTok. Hold on. Or did I go live on TikTok? I did. Not on Instagram. What's your fave? Here we go. It's so hard to type with these nails. Fave holiday movie. Perfect. Dethan says she's good at John Wick and killing plants. That's my only two hobbies, actually. Let's see. Viper says I lived in Kansas. It's forgettable. Forgettable is a solid way to state a state, I guess. Palpatine's Vast also says Lord of the Rings is all 3 books and movies. The publisher, when receiving the original manuscript, was afraid to print the entire book in one go due to the fear of flopping. And so due to high prices of paper at the time, they asked Tolkien to find 2 breakpoints so the book could be printed in smaller volumes and could get a better judgment at how well the series would be received by the populace. That's actually kind of impressive that the dude, it had like the entire, hi Gustavo, hello. Someone says The Grinch. Someone else said The Grinch too, as their favorite holiday movie. Like the OG Grinch or like the new Grinch? Because I do really like the new Grinch, I will say. Especially once you get the fact that the Who party that they go to is a swingers party. Man. Oh, also, let's see, Dethan says Kansas is no longer a flyover state, but it's also a touchdown state. The Chiefs are moving here. Listen, I love you guys so much. This is the wrong chat to talk about anything related to football. I'm so sorry. Someone said Jingle All the Way. Oh my god, Gustavo says, do you have the MC World file for Divide? I do not. Ask Hawk for it. I definitely don't. I'm like, that was so many computers ago. So I'm afraid I don't have the file. I think Hawk Falcon does though. And if not, then Flaming Paw would. No one else in chat is gonna know what we're talking about, but I remember that from ages ago. Very old, someone very, from way back in the past just popped into chat and asked about something very specific. Yvette says original Grinch. Okay, so are we talking like the, hold on, Grinch movies? Like the, obviously not the Dr. Seuss ones, but I'm talking about like How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Not like the animated version, like the short version, right? You mean this one? With Jim Carrey? Yeah. So not the animated one, but the Jim Carrey one is top tier. Also, Levi says, I know people debate on this, but Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I think that we've still got a couple minutes left in the poll on Twitch, but so far most people are voting in that direction. There are some naysayers who say that it's not a Christmas movie though. I don't know about that. Alejandro says Nightmare Before Christmas. Pretty solid one. Oh my god, Home Alone. Home Alone is a very good choice. Holy shit, wait. I mean, specifically the one Home Alone movie and none of the others, especially not, because didn't they turn it into like some fucked up spy movie type plot by the 4th one? Also, Dethan says Violent Night is an amazing movie. Violent Night. I'm gonna turn to just chatting before I Google this. That was the one with, what's his fuck? The dude, yeah, David Harbour, who was at the Game Awards, by the way. Apparently he's a really big tabletop gaming nerd, who's playing Santa Claus, who like goes out on a fucking like killing spree, is it? What's the actual plot of that one? But it looks really cool. I remember really wanting to see it back when I first saw little bits and pieces of it. I'm only gonna show it for a second because I don't want to like get in trouble. But people are saying Home Alone 2 is good too. Home Alone 2 is okay. I liked Home Alone 1 better, but the traps in Home Alone 2 were better, if that makes sense. The plot in 1, top tier. The traps in 2, the guy could have, he's definitely like, he needs to go to an institution of some variety, whether it's like the fucking CIA or a mental hospital, but Kevin McAllister had some insane, violent thoughts going on. Let's see, Mage Brush says Die Hard is a Christmas movie and hot dogs are a sandwich. Hot dogs are, they don't count as a sandwich unless you slice the bun in half, I will say that. Yuli says, I love your videos. Thank you. And Arrowhead says, for those that missed it, the girl that plays Cindy Lou Who in the Jim Carrey Grinch is now the front woman of the Pretty Reckless, and they released a rock version of Where Are You Christmas this year, and it's sick. Holy shit. Cyberjack also says, the first time I watched Blade Runner was in between Christmas and New Year's, so it's a holiday movie for me now, just because I'm a cyberpunk slut. Top tier, welcome to the team. Dropling also says, The Muppet Christmas Carol is a top tier Christmas movie. Klaus and Arthur Christmas is really good too. I actually haven't seen any Muppet movies, or Muppet anything, as far as I'm aware, except for the old like Sesame Street type stuff, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, Coogan says hot dogs are a taco. That's correct. That's what it is. If it's like not sliced in half, then it counts as a taco. There's a whole, like a whole chart. It's called the Cube Rule of Food, and I live by it. Crooked says a folded open face sandwich is no longer open face. Ergo, hot dog qualifies as a sandwich. But an open face sandwich is just like a sandwich. It's basically toast, right? Also, Magebrush says, then what is a hoagie? Same thing, it's also taco. Everything is taco if you think about it. Also, people are saying Polar Express is also fun. I feel like I'm gonna rewatch the Polar Express one of these nights. It's been many, many years since I've seen it. Polar Express. I feel like I'm going to watch this movie and then just have violent whiplash over how bad the animation was back then and how good it seemed, you know? Like, oh my God. Like this kid, this sad little boy, cursed. Same with like fucking, well, okay, no, the conductor was really good, but that's because the conductor actually had like fucking rosy cheeks and some dimensionality to his skin and like, you know, shit like that. Oh my God, there's a Polar Express wiki? There's a kid who doesn't even have a name. His name is Know-It-All. And then the main character's name is Hero Boy. Do they not have names at all? Does no one have a name in this movie? Also, hi Pancake, how's it going? Palpatine's Fist says, does 101 Dalmatians count as a Christmas movie? Oh, I don't think so. And your bud Dank says the Uncanny Valley Express. They all don't? I thought at least the like sad little kid, Billy the Lonely Boy. Yeah, this guy at least, his name was Billy. I'm sure. Right? Am I insane? Landfear, thank you so much for the sub. And then Pancake says, no way, no one has a name in that movie. I will say, Tom Hanks carries it. This entire time, I fully thought all these kids had names and I just hadn't forgot about it. But I do know Tom Hanks, at the very least, is the real star of the whole thing. I'm kind of surprised that they don't do like a mini series for kids or something on this, in the Polar Express world, you know? Crooked Rook says the only named character is Santa Claus. Oh, gotcha. Judah also says, does Nightmare Before Christmas count as a Christmas movie? It does. I think it does. I think it could go either way. Mage Boy also says, what about Elf? See, this is where I have the very strong opinion that Elf is the best Christmas movie. Not Elf on the Shelf. Elf, not the cosmetic brand. Elf Christmas movie. There we go. Yeah, Will Ferrell. top tier performance. It holds up relatively well. He and Zoe Deschanel should not have ended up together at the end. That part was weird. Obviously, there was no reason for her to like him, but still. Gustavo says, can you direct me to Hawk's account? I cannot. I have no idea what he's up to nowadays. Sorry. I don't keep much in touch with those guys. Talik says, I'm new here. I love your content on other platforms, but Polar Express just creeps me out. It face planted in the Uncanny Valley. Yeah, so for those who don't know, have you guys ever, do you know what the actual like Uncanny Valley is? It's the reason that, I'm assuming most of you know, because I've definitely talked about it in the past, but it's this thing where humans will recognize faces before anything else. It's how we determine what we like, what we don't like. It's a set of like heuristics essentially, and we can sort things into categories based on how human and how not human they are. When you're a baby, what you'll do is you'll look at a electric socket and you'll think, you know, when you're first starting to form these categories, you'll think, oh, this is human. Because it has like a little face on it, you know, it has the 2 eyes and it has a mouth. So in a baby's head, this is humanoid looking, which makes kids want to play with fucking light sockets and things like that. The closer you get to human, the more likable something is on a rising slope. But there is a certain level, there's a certain point where you can get really close to looking like a human, but if you have just like a couple things that look off, like that it has weird skin, or its eyes are a little too sallow, or its smile is a little too wide, that is just enough to make it so much worse and so much less likable. And then moving up and then going back into getting even more human, you get back into like, oh, this is likable again. So that like dip of, you know, the more human you get is good. It's good. It's good. Unless you get like 80% human, and that's the sweet spot where it's not good. And then up again. And that's what we call the Uncanny Valley, is that little dip. Yvette says it's like the Kubrick stare. Yeah. And so a lot of people are talking about the concept nowadays, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence, of like robots needing to be designed either not human at all looking, or if you're gonna try and make it look like an actual human, you have to fucking nail it or else people will hate it. Oh yeah, and Happy Little Dumpling says it's when they get the teeth wrong that it gets extra creepy. Yeah, humans are really good at pointing out what exactly humans are supposed to look like, but it's hard to articulate it, you know? Also, Landfear says, as someone who flirts with electricity, it could be so easy to flip the light socket upside down to prevent kids from thinking that. Yeah, right? Oh yeah, wait, Nano says Polar Express was the first movie I was ever shown. That is a crazy introduction to cinema, but it's not the worst one. They have really good movies. Also, the hot chocolate scene was just satisfying to watch. Saying I'm a Polar Express fan to the end. I'm here for it. Let's see. Spacing Giant says Home Alone is definitely their favorite. Cash Gal also gifted a sub to Yves so they didn't have to sit through ads. We also have Telepathic ED and George the Goat who have followed over on Twitch. It's good to see you guys. Hello, hello. And then someone on Instagram said they actually only watch the Christmas episodes of The Simpsons as opposed to holiday movies. Let's see. Also, Talon said, what monsters existed for humans to have such an uncanny valley reaction? A lot of things come down to diseases in the end, so it's less so that we're concerned about someone, you know, I don't know, someone seeing a monster that's very like body snatcher, body mimic style, like taking over humans. I think it's more just like if someone has skin that's actively sloughing off or something weird, you know, if their eyes are too yellow, that I imagine would be like what gets you to not want to associate with them, because it might be transferable. It's the same way that you don't like rotting food, you know, and some other creatures absolutely love rotting food. It's because it's bad for us. We can't process it. Therefore, we want to get it, like, ejected, and it tastes bad to us. Things like that. Let's see. Human likeness. Here we go. Anthropomorphism. Oh, it's weird how there's two different uncanny valleys depending on whether or not something is moving. Ugh. So, like, human likeness, the scale here, stuffed animal is like the peak that you get before it just straight up is human, and then before that, corpse is what drops it below into negative affect and negative affinity. Ugh, it's fucking terrifying. Oh yeah, Crayhack says, why do I not get a notification until 30 minutes in? Oh, I'm so sorry. For what it's worth, it's always, I mean, the stream does usually start around the same time every time, so, but, oh yeah, wait, hold on. Nimbus says rabies. Oh, I've actually never seen a person infected with rabies before. I know in World War Z they called it like the African rabies because they thought the virus was like a 28 days later rage style virus at first before they realized it was actually like raising the dead, and so they called it rabies due to like that aspect of it. Oh, Yves says look up the Kubrick stare. It's a way to make any person look horrifying. Kubrick stare. It's from oh yeah, Clockwork Orange. I remember this. The Kubrick stare, the actor looks out from under the brow line and tilts their head towards the camera. It's deemed one of cinema's most recognizable shots by Robbie Collin, and it's named after Stanley Kubrick, who often used it, but it's been used by other directors since. It was used to describe Alex's facial expressions in A Clockwork Orange. It also breaks the fourth wall and evokes fear. Some actors are more suited to perform the Kubrick stare because of their facial structures. Interesting. The Joker has been associated with the Kubrick stare due to Heath Ledger using it in The Dark Knight. Also, Smile revolves around a woman who's haunted by a many-faced entity that constantly smiles at her while giving her a Kubrick stare. That's kind of interesting. I never saw Smile, but I didn't realize that it was like that much of an aspect of how the monster is supposed to act. Let's see. Cash Cow said, oh my god, A Clockwork Orange was an amazing movie. It's based on a book, and I kind of want to read the book first, but I remember it being just kind of like slightly weird and not wanting to watch it until I understood the book first. So, I don't know. I'm also in the middle of reading a bunch of things. I rediscovered my local library. Please clap. Oh yeah, someone said Jack Nicholson is all about the Kubrick stare. Exactly. One thing I'm reading right now is I read 28 Days Later. I also read The Long Walk, which is I'm not gonna say it's a way better book. I think the ending in the movie is better, but like it's a more impactful book. There's a lot more emotions and a lot more connections between characters in the book. Actually, the main character is heavily insinuated to be bisexual in the book, which I think they just completely blow that over in the movie in the movie part. I don't know. I didn't watch the movie though. I just saw a synopsis of it. Anyway, Libby, highly recommend. You can also read books on your phone. You don't need a Kindle to do it, which is fantastic. So I've been reading that. I've also been reading American Psycho. And let me tell you, one thing you shouldn't do before flying to LA for an awards show is read American Psycho. Because my God, I had to like get myself out of the mindset of hating LA culture right before stepping into that theater. That was a bad idea. That was a choice. That was a bad idea. Fantastic book though. Oh my God. Also, George the Goat says, I really want to read House of Leaves. I think you'd like it a lot. It's actually not available through my local library for some reason. I might have to go out and buy it somewhere. Dethan says American Psycho is so dry. It is, but it's like intended to be that way. Also, Vlux Scripter says, let's see Diana's business card. I haven't gone to that scene in the book yet, but let me see, is this the, yeah, this is the good one. Half of my business cards have my actual like doxing info on it. Half of them are like business cards. Depends on like what level of the industry people are at. But this is my card. It's like got a velvety finish. It's embossed and it has like gold and a proper QR code and things like that. I do need to update it, but you can see underneath my fingerprints and stuff, very faintly, you can see like leaf decals. And in the corners, come on, focus. Camera, please. There we go. Very faintly, you can see like little leaf decals in the corners, and in the center, a little Monstera leaf underneath everything. It's like soft, rounded corners are top tier. The QR code actually works. There's like a little embossed star in the middle of the QR code as well. I like it. So, I don't know. But every time I show off my thing, the business card, it like constantly I'm getting like comments that are talking all about that specific scene from American Psycho. I haven't watched the movie though. I do want to like go and see. Cashco said the QR code actually works. Yeah, it's supposed to. I think it goes to like my business email. It might also go to my link tree, so it's the same as my link in bio. So it's nothing crazy. Paul says thank you for saying decal the right way. Of course. But yeah, let's see. Orosa says House of Leaves author is the brother to the music artist Poe. He wrote that book shortly after their dad died. He created her album Haunted. I have also heard of, there's a book called Haunted or something like that, right, as well? Or am I thinking of something else? I might be thinking of something else. Also, Paul says it looks like you're doing better. I am, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing my best. I really like, I don't know how I got sick. Fucking not 2 events in a row almost, basically, following right after PAX Unplugged, which was disappointing, but Oh well. Let's see. What else? What else? Oh yeah, someone said Christian Bale killed it, and Lucas said literally. So the way that American Psycho works is in the book, and I don't know how they got this across in the movie. It's, oh hey, Pat Dog, thank you so much for the 10 bits. Thank you for the cheer. And Viper says you got sick because you didn't get a cheesesteak. I know. I don't know how I forgot. I was just busy, and I also was at Reading Market pretty much every meal, and they had so many good things that we can't get here in Oregon, and I was like sprinting around trying to get like oysters and like seafood and things like that. Hi, Michael, over on Instagram. But let's see. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so in American Psycho, right? The book is, I'm assuming the same way that the movie is, where the main character, you know, Pat, I believe his name is, I fully can't remember for some reason. It's been like a week since I picked it up. He just talks about every aspect of his morning routine, and in the middle of a paragraph that, no joke, goes on for 10 digital pages of just like talking about Armani jumpsuits and the way that he goes specifically with the grain as opposed to against the grain, and then he does like gentle little strokes and exactly what aftershave he uses and how he does like his exact workout routine. And then in the middle of a 10-page single run-on sentence, he'll describe like as part of his routine he murders some random homeless person on the street, and then just continues on getting blood on these, specifically these like fancy shoes that he has, and he goes on his way to the office. And it's like so buried in that it's like you just, I don't know. Also, Pat Dog, thank you so much for the other bits, saying I watch all your clips and vids, they light up my day. Oh, thank you. Oh my god, Daydreamer also wants me to hydrate. I can do that. So I think it's interesting, if that makes sense. Scully says, hey Diana, what's good? My favorite holiday movie is Friday After Next. I have never heard of Friday After Next. Friday After Next. There we go. Also, Victor is heading off to get some sleep. Have a good night, Victor. It's good to see you. Saying hope everyone enjoys the rest of stream. I don't think I've heard of this movie. It reminds me of Are We There Yet? Because it doesn't that also have, let's see. Yeah, it also has Ice Cube, doesn't it? Also, Pat Dog, that is a lot of bits. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And then Matt says, my most controversial take, The Great Gatsby and American Psycho are the same genre, where the decade they take place in is the actual villain, the 20s and 80s respectively. Really? Interesting. So like you're saying the state of 1980s New York was the problem? Also, Snake King Clone says Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie. Is it? Iron Man 3. Was that the one where he has like an entire army full of robots? Spoiler for a movie that came out forever ago, by the way. Is this also the one where What's-Her-Fuck probably should have stopped seeing him forever ago? Hold on, I realized I'm not sharing my screen. Also, Kants wants me to roll a D100, saying, predict the odds of if tonight is gonna be a good night. I mean, it's almost over. Surely, if it's not a good enough night by now, it's got plenty of time to look up. Oh my gosh, also, Michael says Jack Nicholson's son is in Smile 2 because they wanted a young Jack to do the stare, so they got his son. Oh, it also comes from Hitchcock at the end, and the end of Psycho. I actually haven't seen Psycho. Oh man, I feel like I need to. Especially given like how iconic it was, and the fact that it was based off like a real murderer and whatnot. Hi Tom over on YouTube. I promise we were talking about Christmas movies and then we devolved into talking about other media. Hello. Okay, so someone asked me to roll an Iridescent D100, saying how is tonight gonna go? The Iridescent D100 is quite literally just that. It's a D100 that has like that oil slick type stuff going on, that coloration. So I'll just give it a quick roll. I will say it tends to roll more in the middle. So, also hi Tom. And then Ran Sukasa, hi, hello, good to see you. And Lynn Fear says American Psycho is one of my favorite all-time movies. It's an amazing movie. I really want to watch it after this. I've only seen GIFs and like clips and like reaction memes from it. So, I don't know. Okay, so here we go. Cats, here's your D100 roll. It's so hard to read. An even 50. 50-50 shot, I guess. It's not gonna be easy for me to show you guys because it's also really hard to read here. But the 50 is right there. So there you go. There's that for you. But yeah, Tom says leans to the middle. What does? Oh, the yeah, right. The rolls. I think I've gotten a full 100 roll on D100 once, and chat like exploded. So Viper says is the die hollow. It is. So it's like this hollow metal cage basically, and I have a gold one as well. You guys want some ASMR? I have the nails for it now. Zeus says Terrifier 3 is my favorite Christmas movie. Didn't the original Terrifier get like absolutely abysmal reviews though? And then they made like 3 more of them. Also, Cants, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs to the community. That's wonderful. Thank you. And I do hope your day gets better. I hope it leans on the higher side of the 50. Also, Scully says watch Bates Motel before or after you watch Psycho. It's actually goated. Oh, I'm down. Because I was watching the Netflix special about, God, what's his name? Is it Ed something? No. The most recent Monster series, where it goes over like a serial killer and it does a dramatic recreation of, you know, him and his life and all that, and how he murdered his brother and then wore his mother's face or something like that. Ed Gein? Yeah, that's it. And that was what Psycho was based off of. And it talked a little bit about how Hitchcock turned his life afterwards into Psycho, but then people didn't like it and were vomiting and passing out during the movie or something like that. I don't know. Culture was crazy back then. Also, Lena says, oi, oi, and congrats on not incinerating yourself with the nail file. I know, right? Yeah, Kirby, exact same guy. Yeah, I feel like, God, back then, it was like because didn't people also absolutely like get fucking terrified about, and granted, they weren't exposed to much stuff back then, so it's like giving a 1700s Victorian child a McDonald's Sprite. You know, anything could take them out. They're just not used to it. During the first like motion picture, there was an image of a train coming right at the screen and people actually screamed and ran away because they thought it would come through the screen and run them over. So it's just exposure. Ashen also says, I'm so happy I've managed to make one of your streams. I've been following on TikTok for forever, but I always miss you on Twitch. Oh man, well, welcome in. Dude, I don't know what it is. Viewership always goes up right around this time of the year, specifically for, I'm guessing, the time zone change or something like that. That must be it. Yeah, Hauntmaster says Ed Gein, or Gein, I forget how it's pronounced, is a true serial killer from Wisconsin. Of course it would be Wisconsin. It's always a W state or an M state. Except for Ted Bundy. But anyway, Ashton, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Also, thank you to Anonymous for the $25 tip so I could get a Unilog. That's amazing. Holy shit. Do I even, I need to find out where to get one. We were talking about this earlier for those who just joined. We were talking about different like holiday traditions and things like that. And I forget how we got on the topic, but we talked about like Yule log cakes and how these things look so delightfully fucking whimsical. And yet I've never had one. I've never seen one. I don't know what they taste like or look like. I don't know what the cream in the middle is like. So I just randomly was like, you know what, fuck it. If we raise $50, I'll get to try one, which is really nice. And Tom says, did you shout out the person who gifted 5 subs? I did. Kantz did, who asked for the D100 roll. So thank you again, Kantz. Let's see. Oh yeah, Alejandro says a horror game unboxing. Let's go. It's kind of horror. It's more like a war game. But I have Malediction here, which is a, yeah, let me actually just show you. It's a tabletop game, Malediction, that I got at PAX Unplugged, and they were actually really nice. They had a whole bunch of stuff set aside specifically for content creators, and I just walked up ready to spend like hundreds on this game. But it turns out I didn't need to. They were really nice about it, and they were like, yeah, we have copies for you. They just came out with minis as well, and the minis are really what caught my eye. I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of stuff about it on YouTube and whatnot, kind of like talking about how it works, but it comes with, yeah, things like this, right? The minis that are a lot more on the bloody gory side than I think most people anticipate. Let's see, can I open an image in new tab? There we go. So things like this little bird beak here. I love that sort of stuff. I don't know if they come painted. That's a very good thing to figure out, actually. Hold on. House Duggan says, I can't wait to try Malediction, except my friend, expect my friend hand to actually spend the money on it. Yeah, it is very expensive, but I have, here are, I think these are the 4 core boxes. I don't know much about this game, but I also haven't opened it yet just because I haven't had time. There's Primal Blood. I think these are the factions. Yeah, Legion of the Fallen, Also, you guys can kind of see yourself. See the Twitch overlay there? Legion of the Fallen. Conclave of the Spheres, which is, look, this one. Purplish. And then we have a, like, yellowish, tannish, whitish one called the Order of the Shattered Throne, which I'm guessing are, like, the goody two-shoes paladins. Let's see. I'm pretty sure they don't come painted. Okay, perfect. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly that Primal Blood is like the more, let's see. Inside the massive jungles of Paxos, clans unconquered by weakness gather to strike at the heart of civilization, eager to revel in a dance of fire and chaos. They're the children of Oxna who shattered Osteros' chains of oppression and saved, not slaved, his people. From the creation of from the certain doom of the fall, echoes of the land and ancestral words of wisdom shape their culture. Freedom is their one true god. Ties of bloodshed are stronger than those of blood. So the whole story is kind of like on the back here. I'm more interested in seeing how the game actually works, because from what I understand, this is basically it. You just get 2 to 4 people together, and as long as they have their own factions, then you should be good to go. I don't think it gets much bigger than 4 people though. Also, Josh says a most merry Yuletide. Thank you, to you too. Yeah, there are 4, says Paul the Map Guy. 4 I states? Oh my god, wait, hold on. Paul the Map Guy says there are 4 W's and 8 M's, so 12 out of 50 is 24%. What are we talking about? Oh my god, the states, like the actual literal United States states. Euro Dank says, isn't a W or M state roughly a 1 in 4 chance? I mean, yeah, if there are 12 out of 50 W and M states, 24%, 4 I states, which are Iowa, Idaho, Illinois, and Indiana. I will say, only like 2 or 3 O states. That kind of sucks. It's a little lonely out here. I can't believe we have to share with fucking Ohio. Oh my gosh, also Nimbus says Sparrow makes a Yule log. Does it say I have to order it ahead of time? I know Sparrow does really good stuff. I'm super down for that. Mage Boy says, is it a miniature game or a dungeon crawling PG? It is a miniature game, and it's not dice-based, it's card-based. Wow, why am I having such trouble opening this? The box lid is on here incredibly tight. Like, I swear it's not just me. Hold on. There's 3 O states? Wait, what's the other one? Oh, fucking Oklahoma. Okay, fine. I feel like if Oklahoma were wiped off the map, though, there probably wouldn't be that many people who were like, it would take a day for us to notice. But maybe that's just me. Like, what's Oklahoma's major export anyway? We're gonna start with a different faction. Let's start with the Legion of the Fallen, because this is crazy. Matt says even Texas wouldn't mind if a meteor hit Oklahoma. Their major output is Bibles, says Tom. Oh God. And then also JK says, as someone who grew up in Ohio and then moved to Oregon, agreed. Oregon is fantastic. I know that people love shit-talking Oregon who live here for the sake of the fact that they don't want other people to move here, and I get that, but, you know, I can't help but love it. Okay, Malediction. Dear player, thank you for purchasing the limited edition of our first game, Malediction. I didn't know this was limited edition. Oh no. Oh no, I really don't want to fuck up the box. With Malediction, we intend to push the boundaries of the tabletop game industry. It's a completely new genre, bringing together card game strategy with 3D printed miniatures. This represents a significant milestone for our studio. It's a dream come true and the start of a journey we hope to share with you as we plan to offer future releases for many years to come. I hope so. I feel like it'd be really cool if they did like a bunch of new factions and releases, but for example, just to start off, a lot of the terrain and things like that begin two-dimensional, it looks like. I think these come apart and I think they come together, and let's see. Oh god, there's probably assembly instructions that I really don't want to fuck up. But I think I'm supposed to either glue or tape certain bits of cardboard together. The majority of the armies and creatures, it looks like, are also, like standees to begin with. And then we have tokens to represent things like damage. There's stats like Echo and Mastery. Again, I really don't know the rules, but I gotta show you the art on these cards because they're really cool. This is used very wargaming style to measure distances, so people who play Warhammer and things like that will recognize it. Let's see. Warlock says Oklahoma is just Texas's hat. basically. And Lucas says, I just want to pop those cardboard pieces out. It's so satisfying. I know, I'm like itching to. Do the rules say if I actually have to? There's unit standees, terrain pieces. Okay, key concepts. I don't care. Can I pop out the terrain, or is that not okay? No, I don't think it's okay. Shit. Damn. So this is what the setup looks like. It's actually quite a nice little like beginner book. It does that thing where it has starter like campaigns that you can go through where it doesn't actually make you shuffle all of the cards together, but instead it tells you to put certain ones in a certain order to make a deck. And then it's like, here, pull your first card. This is what the card should be. This is what it does. Oh, and it comes with a die. Not spin down, just normal. A D20. So I guess there are, certain like things that are dice based. Not gonna go through all that quite yet. But the rest of the boxes should be relatively the same. Except for these additional ones have the actual miniatures in them. Let's see, so this is the one for the one we just opened for, oh no, it's not. Yeah, it is, the Legion of the Fallen. They're kind of like the undead, like vampires and ghouls and all that sort of stuff. Like, this is their vibe. Oh no, it's Lino says learned by playing is a great approach to the teach. Yeah, it's like, it's either that or QR codes that lead you to a video. Those are my two favorite things. Yeah, I also have seen some really like intuitive games that will basically have like an app companion that tell the story for you. So let me see, hold on. One example, one of my favorite examples actually, is The Dark Quarter. Yeah, there we go. It's by Lucky Duck, and it's a board game that's mostly app-driven. So you download an app, and then you scan things like the different cards for items that you get. So for example, if we were to, you can see this crowbar card here. It has a QR code on it, and if you scan it, it'll take you through a Telltale style series of, you know, described events and scenarios, and you can make choices and dialogue options as you go along, but also like decisions on how you want to get through a situation. If a door is locked, do you knock it down? Do you search the area? Do you go through a window instead? And if during those scenarios you scan the QR code of an item you have in your inventory of one of your cards, then the app will tell you, oh, okay, do you want to use this? And then in that situation, if it's a usable item, it'll like bring you down an entirely new path. And there's a lot of content there. Like, it's one sit down session being 2 hours is very much accurate. And you can also play as different characters to get different options, and I have all the DLC and all the miniatures and stuff for it too. It's really cool. Will, hi, says Gods of Metal Ragnarok has a play to learn one shot in the book. It's super helpful. Exactly, I love that sort of stuff. Also, hello, good to see you. Stram says, what's in Oklahoma? It's a musical that I saw exactly once. I didn't like it, and I can't remember why. Maybe I just don't like musicals. But yeah. I highly recommend things like The Dark Quarter. I think it's really innovative. I'm honestly, did it win an ENnie yet? I guess it's not technically like a TTRPG, it's just a board game. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess hybrid, but it's hybrid in the sense that it's the closest you'll get to a Telltale game in board game format. At least in my head, you know? So I really like it. Anyway, let's at least grab some of the miniatures for the zombie dudes in Malediction, because they were incredibly nice in, I think they gave me a discount or something like that when I bought it, because I'm a completionist. So when I went up to them at PAX Unplugged, I was like, hey, I love your guys' vibe. Can I have everything? And they were like, we can actually give you some things for free, but you will have to buy the rest. And I'm like, that's even better than I thought. So it comes in like their little starter pack. They're still kind of getting up and going with the 3D side of it, but Infernal Knave says you should try Hades Town. Greek mythology in a musical is epic. I've heard, I don't know if the pun was intended, I've heard Epic has been going like absolutely like fucking crazy lately with the Tumblr side of the internet and like the people who, I mean, the music is amazing, but also I've seen it be really big in the D&D space where people are using the music to describe their characters. They're like D&D OCs and things like that and use it to relate to that sort of stuff, which I've always thought was really cool, but let's see, Will says Oklahoma is Rodgers and Hammerstein, if I remember correctly. It's a very old-fashioned musical, and I really can't blame you for not liking it. I think I just hate the Midwest, actually. Any competitive rival O-state, can't do it. So, here's what we got. This is just, I'm so sorry, Instagram, it's gonna be a little loud for you. These are some of the miniatures that we got. This guy Here you go. Who's doing the, not the Gen Z heart, but like the Gen Alpha's kind of been doing a new like heart thing recently where they show a heart like this. So, potentially. Yokov says, are you on OnlyFans or WikiBeat? No, I have a day job, unfortunately. God, if it were that easy. It's also one of those things where I could, but if I ever do, it means I've given up on every other aspect of my career, because unfortunately I just don't not have the time. DBC said there's a reason why it's the Midwest. Exactly. It's at the Midwest. And also Nimbus says it probably hates you too. You never know. I'm okay with that. I've never once set foot in a middle state, I don't think. Yeah. No, yeah, and I use the term middle state derogatorily. Lucas says I step away for 10 seconds, so she's hating on my awful and very hateable state. We've also got, oh my gosh, it looks like a bunch of these guys are, yeah, this guy's holding a severed head. I was gonna say, these guys have insane levels of detail. So it's very much like Vampiric, the Fallen Order, or the Fallen Legion. You can see my camera focuses. Here we go. This guy clutching the severed head of a fallen enemy. I feel like if I were to paint this, I would kind of, sorry Instagram, it's not gonna go as well for you because I can't get as close with the front camera, but you can see he's holding something there. Oh wait, Eris says Aristukia, sorry, says you've set foot in Indiana for Gen Con. That's true. I forgot about that. Shit, so I guess I have for a couple of years now. Man. Let's see. And also, what's your favorite mini? Says Ghetto. Ooh, it's not in this room. I think the Crimson Croc from, yeah. I think I'd have to say either the Crimson Croc or the Gorm from Kingdom Death are easily some of my favorites. Sky the Nerd says, which mini box is this? This is for Malediction. Let me do this actually. Malediction, which is a relatively new war game. Cross between a war game and like a card-based strategy game. And so I bought basically everything from them. I feel like if I were to paint this, I would kind of go the route of adding a little bit more gore to it and a little bit more like drippage. But I'd also want to make sure that this guy's immaculate outfit is maintained and it doesn't cramp his style or anything. Also, Paul the Map Guy says, I have no idea how Indiana gets to have Gen Con. Fucking bullshit contracts, essentially. It was the most disappointing news to basically everyone in the content creation sphere once we got like news that that Gen Con had renewed its contract with the ICCC for the next like 5 years. It was just disappointing, you know. But it originally was in Lake Geneva, and then it moved over and then kind of split into what is now GaryCon and then also Gen Con. They're kind of like the two biggest. Origins Game Fairs also really high up there. So there's a couple different ones. Let's see. People are saying Michigan. What's the best state and why? And someone says Michigan because of nature. I've actually never heard a bad thing about Michigan, I will say. Yeah, I think it's just kind of one of those neutral states where just people maybe just don't care enough to talk about it. Oh no. Oh no, there's some broken bits. I'm gonna have to be careful about this, but I do want to show you guys this other guy. These like wraith looking things. I would say either this or, does this have a dick on it? No, it doesn't. I can show it. Here we go. Or I can show you a picture online of one of my other favorites. Here's a little wraith fella. Here we go. The Manapede from Tainted Grail. Don't ask me how I've got all these in my head. The Manapede specifically is really fucking cool. It's like a elongated humanoid torso with a bunch of hands and feet, and it just like worms its way around. And let me see, am I gonna be able to find safe for work photos of it painted? Kind of. I don't think I can safely show that off actually, so I'm not going to. But if you look on Reddit, there's like a subreddit that is for Tainted Grail, and the miniatures for it are fantastic. You can see some of them here. These are the pre-painted ones, but Tainted Grail has some really, really cool monster designs that get more into the body horror of things, especially because it's so Eldritch-y, the way that it just warps you, you know? Let's see. JK Says, I live in Oregon now, but the Ohio in me still has beef with Michigan. What happened between Ohio and Michigan? Wavering Eye says, Michigan is full of people who don't like it. They just hate everywhere else more. Got it. And Paul says, actually, yeah, everyone in the Midwest loves Michigan except for people who live in Michigan. What the fuck is happening? Are the Michigonians okay? I don't know. Oh, wait. Fosmo says the worst thing about Michigan is its proximity to Ohio. Good God. Yeah, so I think overall people have very strong opinions about states. Let me tell you though, there are certain states that exist that I'm pretty sure no one cares about and I've never seen casually talked about in conversation. One of which is Delaware. You never hear anything about Delaware. Naster says, oh, hey, Crime Heel says it's a sports thing. Gotcha. Okay. I don't know. And DBC said Ohio has beef with everyone so they can feel included in conversations. And they did do a war once because it's a state rivalry. Got it. Yeah, Steel Sentry says a lot of things happen between us and Ohio. Man. Nodzer says, what's the board game you've been able to get your friends and family into? I think... I think if we go ease of transition, there's like a spectrum here, right? So there's families who play Uno. Then you go up to the game of life. Then you go up to more competitive games like Monopoly. And then you go into games that went viral and that people saw on Facebook and were more open to learning about because it's not a campaign style game. Things like Q's and Hues or Cards Against Humanity, unfortunately. Then you get into games that can be interpreted as drinking games and therefore have made the cut into family game night, which also is Cards Against Humanity, actually, weirdly enough. I feel like when you get out of board games and more into, well, I know, no, there's also Wingspan and things like that. So I'd say Wingspan. From there, you can get your family into more resource management games. Catan would be one step below that. Maybe Flamecraft would be one step above that, but not that much. I feel like there's like a balance there of how hard is it to learn? How long does it take to play? And, you know, is it going to be incredibly complex as far as resource management, economies to learn? If there's any lore at all involved, I've given up on trying to teach people it. I think the highest amount of like complexity and campaign style gameplay and lore involvement that I can get while still being able to get people to actually sit down and play it would probably be Betrayal at the House on the Hill. 5th edition. I think anything beyond that, I could not get people to play. There's no chance of me getting people to play Darkest Quarter. No one's gonna go near me as soon as I pull out Gloomhaven, you know? So, I don't know. Hato says, do you have beef with Cards Against Humanity? Dude, everyone my age has beef with Cards Against Humanity. It's just the most unfunny shit nowadays. It's like, it's because so many people got so into it when they were in like high school, and it was considered really funny when they were in high school because it was an amalgam of the apples to apples, you know, childhood template essentially that has been turned into an adult game. So we all played it in high school, but we also all played the OG so much that we have every single card memorized, and it's just not as funny anymore, especially because, I don't know, nowadays, just going on the internet, I will laugh a lot more internally by scrolling through TikTok and seeing the shit that people post on there than I will through Cards Against Humanity. I feel like there was not enough love given to some of their expansions, though. I feel like some of their expansions were really clever, but I don't know. I don't think that was... It had its chance in the spotlight, but if someone in the year of our Lord 2025 pulls out Cards Against Humanity at the function, I'm probably just gonna sit off to the side. I did buy like all of the expansions when I was a kid, though. I will say, I like have all of them still. Let's see. JX says, it's because you all missed the point of the game. It's not about what's on the cards, it's about what people will say when arguing that the card is a better choice. That's true. It also does reveal how some of your friends are actually kind of just shitty people. I've never had that happen to me personally, but I can imagine it's probably pretty... Some friend groups would be susceptible to some cracks because of that. Paul says you have to get the expansion packs to Cards Against Humanity after playing it repeatedly. There is also an online version of Cards Against Humanity, I'm pretty sure, and they have it on Tabletop Simulator and things like that, which, by the way, I learned the other day how to play Magic the Gathering on Tabletop Simulator. It turns out it's so fucking easy. It takes like 2 steps. I just load my deck into Archidekt from Manabox using a text importer, and then it's just there. It's so good. We've been playing, Maddie and me and Courtney and Adrian, a bunch of people in the TTRPG space. You probably passed them at conventions. And you've definitely seen Maddie before. She's been on my channel. We all played for like 3 hours last night in Tabletop Simulator, and it was so much fun. It was so cool, especially because the mod is all scripted. And so it's like so easy to use. Jayhawk says I have an official Cards Against Humanity card with my name on it. Their holiday stuff for a few years ago. It was wild. Oh, man. Oh yeah, and then let's see. Crime says, "Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that was a thing." Yeah, it's really easy. Let me show you guys what it looks like, because I promise this is the only way I've been able to play with like my remote friends, especially after they all got each other into Magic the Gathering over the course of Gen Con in 2025. And then I say in 2025 as if it wasn't this year. Everyone got each other into Magic the Gathering, and then we only see each other at conventions. But when we see each other at conventions, we're too busy to sit down and play, or there's just no tables available. So DBCU said spell table is a no-go. I don't want to have to use a camera, I will say, and not all of my friends have the capability. They don't have a setup for that, but some of us have used spell table. I just find that like the ease of being able to like shuffle and see everyone's cards and not have to ask questions and things like that in Tabletop Sim is really simple. Tabletop Simulator MTG Commander, let's do that. Not short videos, images. There we go. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is the overarching setup, and you can play with like up to 8 people. There we go. And it's got all these tokens off to the side that you can use to keep track of things like invulnerability or things like that. And it you know, whenever you hover over someone's card with your mouse, you can see exactly what it does and what all the flavor text is, and it pulls up tokens for you automatically that you might need to use and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know, I think it was really cool. I think it was really well done, so we're probably going to continue doing that. There's also like custom backings and custom like card sleeves that you can upload. I don't know how to do that yet, but once I do, it'd be really fucking funny. We also loaded in a digital iPad into the game, and then it took like all of about 20 seconds for people to pull up my TikTok and then Maddie's like Facebook account or whatever on the fucking iPad in the game. So they were all scrolling through TikTok in Tabletop Simulator while everyone else was taking their turn. It was funny. It was great. Uncreative says it's smart, but I love the feel of cards. That's true. I will also say it is kind of like a nice middle ground between not having everything done for you automatically, so you still get to like shuffle cards and you still get to search cards, but it's not 100% tactile and you don't have to do the hard work, you know, if that makes sense. But yeah. Michael says playing co-op games helps getting others to try new games like Dead of Winter. I actually haven't played Dead of Winter. Also, Aristukia says, what are your favorite Magic cards? I'm a Grixis girly. I'm a huge fan of black and green. So my 2 favorite commanders right now are Hazel, which DBCU gave me, actually. I refined that deck a little bit just yesterday or the day before. I'm gonna play it tonight. I'm so excited. And then, oh my God, Lathril. My first ever, oh, sorry, Golgari, that's it, the other G one. The Golgari one, which is Lathril, which is really exciting because High Perfect Morkin is coming out soon. This is the most frustrating thing about being into niche hobbies. And by niche, I mean, it doesn't feel niche to us, but it does to everyone else who doesn't exist on the internet and in this sphere. No one in my family and no one in my friend groups plays video games or Magic or anything like that. And so Christmas gets really hard because the stuff that I actually do want, like booster packs, I can't just point to my mom and be like, hey, you know, Magic cards would be great, because she'll go after like fucking Spider-Man cards and shit like that. And I'd have to give like very specific links to like really old cards, or be like, oh yeah, you know, maybe when Lorwyn Eclipse comes out, can you buy me the pre-release so it'll be ready next month when it really, she doesn't know how to do that. She doesn't know how any of that works. So I don't know, Christmas gets tough. I might just go for gift cards and call it good. Cheese Prop says, imagine not knowing about nerdy stuff by default. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Someone on Instagram also says my wife loves her Ygritte deck. Yeah, oh, that looks, I love that deck so much. I also just like the way that the like diagram style like alt arts look. I think those are gorgeous. The one for Eluge and things like that. Also, Cannon says, I love your nails. Oh my gosh, thank you. I just did them. They're very new. TBC said you gotta lure him in with the Bumbleflower deck. Yeah, Maddie's fucking Bumbleflower fucking shit is, I hate it so much. Michael says, oh, Dead of Winter is so fun. It's a co-op surviving a zombie apocalypse, but it's pretty hard to win. You really have to work together. Oh, Dead of Winter. Because I feel like I've seen it before. It's kind of one of those games where you can't find it in a, oh no, not the film. Dead of Winter game. Yeah, there we go. A Crossroads game. Came out in 2014? Oh man. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of like one of those games that you'd see in a regular board game store. I also really want to play the Elder Scrolls board game so fucking bad. Oh my God, it's probably really expensive, but I want it so bad. Most Average Gamer says, hey, how's your Monday going? We're doing good. We're vibing. It's a nice cold winter. It's finally cold out here. So that's been nice. Let's see, what does it look like? Standees, a map, actual fucking like zombie standees as well. And different game win conditions. Fascinating. I really don't know much about this. I need to look into it. I need to see someone else play it, essentially. It puts 2 to 5 players in a small weakened colony of survivors in a world in which most of humanity is either dead or diseased. Diseased flesh-craving monsters, specifically. Everyone leads a faction of survivors with dozens of different characters in the game. It's a meta-cooperative psychological survival game. It's psychological? No one told me that. I thought it was just purely resource management. Shit. Okay. Let's see. They must also complete a personal secret objective, which could relate to a psychological trick that's fairly harmless to most others in the colony, a dangerous obsession that could put people at risk, sabotage, or vengeance. Some people could win, some could lose, everyone could win, everyone could lose. And there's difficult, heavily thematic, wildly varying decisions that you can make. See, that's what I love, is games that make you make decisions. Anything along those lines, you know, the closest I can get to a Telltale game and a board game, the better. Tensor says Dead of Winter is nice, but you are incentivized to kick a player out. Really? And Nimbus says Sanity is the ultimate resource? Oh, I fucking love Sanity as a resource, dude. I want it so bad in tabletop, like, RPGs, more than Call of Cthulhu does, because I get Call of Cthulhu is there, but, like, I want there to be a more clean integration where it's not just another statistic, but it's, like, a overarching statistic that controls how you do everything else, you know? Oh, House Duggan says, in case you didn't see it, there's some food being delivered to you? No way! Oh my God, thank you so much, Duggan. That's awesome. Sorry, my phone is being used for Instagram, so I haven't been able to check. But that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Aw, that's really sweet of you. Tick2Tail also says, no, there's a lot of stuff you have to do that makes you choose between your own survival or the group as a whole. Interesting. And Jayhawk says, I played Dead of Winter at a convention. I bought the game, and I've never had anyone willing to play it. It sits next to The Last Night on Earth, which is a different co-op survival game, more action, and at least one person controls the zombies. I don't know how I feel about asymmetrical games like that. I know that Betrayal is one of them, but at least you can't choose who it is. So, I don't know. Haydos is also going Christmas shopping. Have a good night, Haydos. It was good to see ya. And saying, thank you for all the amazing content in 2025. I'm not dying. I'm still gonna stream next week. I just won't be here this week after this because of things going on. Tensor says Arkham Horror, the card game, is the best version of Sanity being an integral game mechanic. Arkham Horror. Every time I see Arkham Horror, the game, I can't help, my mind immediately goes to, oh yes, the Batman board game, which I know is not what it is and that's not a thing, but I can't get my head out of, separated from that. I also haven't been super inclined to play this one in particular because it's a bit more of a modern setting, and I'm not a huge fan of modern settings. The minute it has guns, I'm not usually a huge fan of that. So the 1920s gangster style background and backdrop has never really been my thing. More modern stuff, not really, unless we go really modern, where it goes into things like the Magnus archives and whatnot. Tick2Tail says, yeah, I was saying before, my group of friends tried it once. We had to decompress after all of it. Oh, I love games like that. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's very similar to, oh my God, Kingdom Death. I played Kingdom Death once, and me and the other person I was playing with, we were nonstop talking about it. Like, to this day, we talk about the fucking heroes that got knocked out the second that we made a bad decision. It was not fantastic, but it's such a good game because there's some really like adult decisions you have to make. There's full-on situations that you have to get put in. There's one scenario where it's a random event that happens where your party has to pick 2 youngish people and they recreate a hunt as part of like a big theater thing that they do for the rest of the survivors. If you don't know, Kingdom Death is all about this group of survivors that are surviving against monsters that come out of this ultimately dark world. They have like a pile of lanterns that is their only light, and beyond that they just have to survive. They go out every once in a while and like come back in, and they like go out on hunts, come back with resources, and use those resources to develop their settlement. And the settlement, at a certain point, randomly drawn, has an event that you recreate a hunt with. But if you roll badly, as you're recreating the fight, one of your people will just straight up murder the other. And then you just continue on and pick up where you, like the rest of the settlement just continues. You actually gain XP from doing it because you learned more about the like way that the hunters work and how the different monsters would work. So it's almost like a simulation, but you also lose the survivor, you know? It's kind of cool. Darnell says, do you like Mortal Kombat games? Not really. As far as fighting games, it's the one I would choose, and I have Mortal Kombat 10 lying around somewhere, but I don't play fighting games very much. And also Steel Sentry said you wouldn't be interested in the Fallout board game. I would be, but only for the lore. And I feel like Fallout lore, I know people say it's really dark if you get into it, but like, it's not that bad. It's not that horrifying, I'll say. I prefer more horrifying lore, if that makes sense. Cheese Prof says, lesson learned, killing people leads to corpses. Here's the thing, you can also make your survivors be cannibals though. So at the very least, even if you have a corpse, you can gain some resources from it and get like skin off of it and things like that. Super cool. Robbie Flip says, Oregon Trail meets Monster Hunter Simulator. Kind of, actually, I suppose. Less travel, more dread, I suppose. Crime says, I ran a Fallout campaign for a little while. It was pretty fun. Yeah, so I know, are we talking about the TTRPG or the actual board game? Because I know the TTRPG has been around for quite a while. Dice Times did a show of it a little while ago, and it was really fun. Oh yeah, the TTRPG. I haven't seen a board game though. I'm also the type of girly who needs to know all of the lore for things. So I'm currently studying up on the Elder Scrolls lore. And I really want to play the OG Fallout games and then go like roll into the newest ones. Probably not 76, but Fallout 4 at the very least. And then go watch the show and then, yeah, get caught up that way. And then I might play the board game, but I don't know. Hello to Ken over on Instagram. But yeah, Voltoiler says, did you ever finish Oblivion Remastered? I did not. I haven't had time because then I decided to go backwards. So I've been really into Crusader Kings recently. Have I shown you guys about, I've told you about this obsession on the Discord, which by the way, the Discord exists for nonstop chatter. It's not overly pingy though. It's just like, it's where we go to chit chat whenever we're not in streams or I have to cancel streams or new content comes out. It's all announced over there. But I've been really into Crusader Kings 3 because there's an Elder Scrolls mod. And it's called like, yeah, Elder Kings 2, I believe. And in this mod, you straight up play through the entirety of Tamriel's history, and you could be, you know, an Argonian, you can be a Dragonborn, you just like have to deal with actual Mana Marco and time breaks and dragon breaks and all that sort of stuff. And it fully creates the entirety of Tamriel's history, down to lore that is relatively new from ESO and things like that, that goes back to like before the you know, the original timeline and arena began, which is just a great concept, honestly. Tensor says, if you can find a copy of Betrayal Legacy, it's worth its weight in gold, even though it's no longer in print. Oh my God, like an original Betrayal game, like predating the 5th edition? That'd be kind of cool. Also, someone asked you like, oh my God, what was it? WWE 2K games? Absolutely not. Oh man, definitely not. If I ever claim to like 2K or anything like that, I've been replaced by an imposter. Please just shoot me. And then Crime says, did you ever try DDO? Oh, DDO. I know that acronym. Why do I know that acronym? Shit. Also, Vstol says, Crusader Kings 3 for the win. You blink and 3 hours have passed. I'm obsessed with it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of really good things, and I asked for it for Christmas because it's specifically for the Tamriel mod. Oh, Dungeons & Dragons Online. No, I haven't. I don't really have an interest in that. I've seen someone play Neverwinter a little bit, but it's not really something that I really want to dive into. If I was gonna do an online game, I just don't like MMOs, is my thing. I don't like anything that's all that grindy. I tried doing Elder Scrolls Online a little bit, again for the lore, but I couldn't stand how much actual fighting I had to do in order to get to the good tidbits, so I don't know. Oh yeah, and Skull said there's also a really good Game of Thrones mod for Crusader Kings 3. That was the other thing I was gonna mention, is that they have, oh my God, Crusader Kings 3, what was it called? A Game of Thrones mod, I think it was called. Yeah, here we go. So you can full on go through all of the events of, you know, A Song of Ice and Fire. You can marry, I guess, different people to each other who are related to each other. It's a very detailed simulator, and it's really cool. I don't know enough about the lore to get into this one as much, but definitely Elder Scrolls one I want to try. DVC says Crusader Kings 3 is also $15 right now because of the sale. Oh, God. Did the sale start? Oh, no. Ah, fuck. Steam. Winter. Sale. This is gonna ruin me. This is gonna kill me, isn't it? The Steam Winter Sale, now through January 5th. Okay, what's happening? Rust. Baldur's Gate 3 is 25% off. Honestly, well worth the price. Also, Investus, can we do Metazoo before the end of stream? I don't think so today. I don't know if we'll have time. Expedition 33 is 20% off. 65 for other games. Hades 2. God, GTA 5? The fact that they're selling that for more than $10 is still wild to me, given how old it is. Good God. Also, Michael over on YouTube says, I'm trying to decide between building Fire Lord Azula or the first Metal Bender Toph. Azula seems to be overly done, but it seems super interesting and strong. I actually haven't looked into the new releases yet. I've heard the first I've heard Toph is really good. Like astoundingly good. Tensor says you were safe for 4 days. Holy shit, yeah. Elden Ring's on sale. These aren't really my vibes though. Oh, except for Don't Starve Together. I just don't have anyone to play Don't Starve with. Is there anything? Oh no, I'm afraid to log in because I'm afraid that I'm gonna look at my wish list and then spend all my fucking rent money. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 I kind of want to play because it is really cool. I love RPGs that are realistic like that. Mortal Kombat, Saints Row, insane. That game is so old. It's on sale for $1. Is there like an entire, let's see, RPG? Claire Obscure, Elden Ring, Hades, this is all the same ones. Divinity Original Sin 2, highly recommend. It's 75% off, by the way. I will say this is what got me, this is what made me a Larian fan back in the day. Project Zomboid is also astoundingly good, but I'm pretty sure, I thought it was still in beta. Maybe I'm misremembering. But it's like a super realistic like zombie survival game. The graphics are absolute dog shit, but the game itself is really good. You can use a fork as a weapon and get really good at it. It's that kind of game, you know. Tainted Grail, really solid. I really liked it. Fall of Avalon is fantastic. Graphics-wise, could be a little bit better. The combat doesn't scale as perfectly as you'd assume, but it's really, like, it's so good for the story. Let's see. 76 is up there, but I've never been interested in that. I've heard really good things about Monster Hunter. I feel like I need to get into it at a certain point, just for the sake of the fact that like the cooking scenes look amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard Lies of P is amazing. It's like a Pinocchio game, right? Holzberg says Project Zomboid's really fun. The latest build, build 42 update is insanely broken right now though. In a good way or in like a bad way? In like a, this is really hard, or is it like, this game is no longer playable sort of way? Also, Tensor says Tainted Grail is a board game first for me. Yeah, Tainted Grail is amazing. It's when I first got into really fucked up, like more adult campaign style board games. It was like Tainted Grail, Kingdom Death, and then nowadays like Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, which I realize is very backwards, but it's been so cool. It's a very good game. Also, Tainted Grail doesn't have that much content to it, so you don't have to like collect it piecemeal over the time and spend hundreds of dollars without realizing it. You just get like big bundles. Like there's maybe 3 of them total, and you have enough content for the rest of eternity, you know? Suresh says, is that seating pose comfortable? Yeah, this is how I've been sitting for a couple hours now. The bisexual sit, you know? And Holzberg says the game is glitchy, but it's always been glitchy. Oh man, yeah. Rough. But Project Zomboid's modding community has also been really amazing, so I'm hoping that they have some fixes on the way at a certain point. Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition. Do I have Fallout? I thought I did. I have all the Fallouts, I'm pretty sure. We also have Dead Island 2, which we still never finished the first one because I was too scared. God, I need to play the old Diablo games again. I remember playing the very, very first one. There's Skyrim. God, this is giving me just so many things that I need time for, but I don't have time. Speaking of time, thank you guys so much for hanging out and for vibing. It's been an absolute pleasure. Once again, this is the last stream we have before Christmas. After that, I'll be back next week. So we won't be doing Tuesday stream because I have a party to go to for a work thing. We won't be doing Wednesday because I have a Christmas Eve party, and we don't be doing Thursday because it's Christmas. But next week on Monday, I should be back. And so we should be good to go. It's gonna be at 5 o'clock Pacific time here on the same Bat channel as usual. I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope to see you on the other platforms. YouTube, Twitch, even TikTok would basically be able to be seen. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. That's where you can see like my screen and things like that. So thanks for hanging out either way. For those who are on TikTok, I'm also gonna say goodbye now. I will see you here again tomorrow. And then for those who are on YouTube, I can't raid into anyone because that's not how that works. But for those on Twitch, let me send you over to a friend of mine. We had DBCU Guide the Raid earlier telling us that Thomas Tusano, which is a wonderful human being, the premier woodworker for the tabletop community, actually, has been doing a stream trying to play Baldur's Gate 3's third act. So we're gonna raid into him. Everyone say hello, be nice. He's a wonderful human being. And so we're gonna go support his raid and also like wish him luck because Act 3 is fucking hell for your computer. I will say that. So he's, we're gonna go say hi. He's been up for about 2 hours. No spoilers though, because I don't know if it's his first time. He's also got some new emojis to debut, so be sure to spam him with his own shit. And then in the meantime, I will see you guys again next week. I love you all. Have a wonderful holiday, and let me know what you get for Christmas if it's cool. Bye-bye.